And good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. David Keever along with Mike Powell, Brett Keever. Beautiful Saturday morning. Going to be a spring-like day today. Up 70, maybe 70 plus.
I heard 69.
60, I'm sure. And then tomorrow, possibility of some freezing precipitation. I think early on in the day, a slight chance.
Welcome to North Carolina.
But either way, yeah, especially Piedmont, North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Where it bounces up and down.
Exactly.
So much, but you know, I don't think it's anything serious. How many weekends did we have?
3.
We had ice last week, right?
So
On like
4
Sunday
weekends
night,
in a row
Monday.
we've had something.
How many? 4?
3 to 4.
3 to 4, yeah. I lost track.
Me
It's been
too.
so many. When you go 3 to 4 years without anything, and then
Without-
3 to 4 weeks
Mhm.
with some icy precipitation. Yeah, fortunately last week wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know, with most of the ice on the things off the ground. You know, you might have had some on your grass, but there wasn't none, as far as I know, on any highways or anything like that here in the immediate area. And hopefully, if we get anything tomorrow during the day, it will be about the same.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday debate: should Monday be a national holiday?
Yes.
Yes.
It would make, getting up on Monday morning a lot easier.
Are you going to have any problem?
I don't know.
I wouldn't think so. You having a commitment to be anywhere on Monday, Mike Powell?
No, I do not.
Yep.
So,
Unlike Brett, who's
I'm
got to be
I'm
somewhere
unworried.
at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
or
I don't care.
6:30 a.m. I got to be somewhere by 7:30 a.m. You know, it makes it a little tough. But you know what? It really should end. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot more parties and a lot more partying going on for Super Bowl Sunday, but it really ends about the same time as the playoffs have the last 2 rounds, because they started at 6 or 6:30. You know, these last 2 rounds.
Probably over by 10:30, which is not too bad.
No,
It's not like the NCAA NCAA championship basketball game. 9:15
on a Monday night.
9:20 tip.
Yeah, on a
in
Monday
prime
night.
time. Come
Yeah.
on.
And
Most people are asleep before Teddy Pendergrass starts up with, what is it?
one shining
moment.
What's the first NCAA championship you can remember watching? I don't know why we got the NCAA, but I'm glad you brought it up because it made me think. I don't ever remember it starting any earlier. It might have started at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
back in.
You don't want to know when. I remember it.
Well, who was it? Who was the game? UCLA
19
and
let's see.
Western Kentucky.
1962. Duke versus
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Duke versus Loyola Chicago.
Duke and Loyola Chicago.
Loyola
in
beat 'em.
62.
And then went on to lose to Cincinnati in the championship.
My first memory is UCLA playing in all those, and I first remember.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say did they play Jacksonville one year?
They
in
sure
that,
did.
yeah.
With Artis Gilmore,
In the championship? Okay.
formerly of Gardner Webb.
Right, yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah, I kind of remember that one a little bit. I
That
don't
was-
remember watching the whole thing.
that
I
was
just
around
remember
67,
seeing that
maybe,
they were
60.
playing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the year. But it'd be right. It'd be close, though. It would have to be.
And
But
do you know that a Vic Dubas-led Duke team faced UCLA twice in the 60s in the championship?
and
They
fell
got
twice.
run out of the gym.
Yeah, I'm sure.
both
Who
times.
didn't get run out of the gym by
Yeah.
UCLA
Gail Goodrich, Walt
back
Hazard.
in the day?
All those guys.
See,
Yeah.
you remember Walt Hazard as the player. I remember Walt Hazard as the coach.
I remember him when he played.
Yeah.
Gail Goodrich.
Well, you know, what percentage? 95, 99% of coaches played at one time, right?
exactly.
Just
most
like
of them.
I think the percentage, for whatever reason, is a little bit higher in
Have
the
we
NFL.
ever had an NBA or high-level Power 5 Division I basketball coach that never played the college game?
I don't know.
Curious. Or even the high school game?
Nah, you had to
no
play
way.
at some
You had
point.
to play at some point.
I think you'd had to play
You
at
had to
some
play at
point.
least Sandlot or
Yeah.
Recreation,
Yeah.
something.
Very interesting, though, to go back and think about that. You know, I had a visitor come in my room at school one day.
Wait a minute. An idea from Lenny, the boss.
Yes.
Alan Major never played college basketball.
Never played college basketball. Alan Major,
Okay.
former UNC Charlotte.
Okay.
I am right on former.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have someone else, but I don't know who it is now.
Yeah, and that former's been a while. His
he's
run
been
was
gone
a
a
while back,
while.
but never played college basketball.
Wow.
But was a star in the NBA. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But yeah, it's odd for that to happen to
It is.
coach college basketball. I
Yeah.
could see you. Well, it happens all the time. High school coaches that didn't play college
Sure.
basketball, but they
Sure.
played high school ball.
Sure.
College coaches a little more
Yeah.
rare,
It is.
But I was going to tell you, I had a visitor come in my room the other day, and he said, see if you can guess who this is. He said, in case I haven't told you, the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl. And I said, yeah, you have told me. And I understand where you're coming from. And that was Bob Cowie, the
Oh yeah.
Kentucky native who said he lived 10 minutes, grew up 10
From
minutes, 10 minutes from Cincinnati, downtown, right across the river from Cincinnati. And if anybody's ever ready for a game, the former Lincoln basketball coach, he's ready for this football game coming up tomorrow.
Well, guys, think how starved Cincinnati is for a winner. We have to go all the way back to the big bread machine of the 70s.
No.
We don't?
No, sir. Tell him, Brett.
What was it?
Don't forget about Sabo.
1990.
Chris Sabo, 1990, Reds.
They won it?
They won it.
Okay.
Beat
I'm
Oakland. And
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Oakland was a heavy favorite.
wrong. Okay.
Steve K
I
can help me
stand
with
correct.
this
Oh,
if
yeah,
he's-
Steve K.
when he wakes up.
I stand correct?
Oakland was a heavy favorite, and I'm thinking the Reds swept them.
Wow.
It might have.
Went in
Yeah,
there and swept
seems
them
like they
4
did.
straight. But Chris Sabo was the star. He wore
Okay.
the goggles, remember? I think he played
Yeah.
third base. Is that right? Sound right, Brett?
History has corrected
I'm
me.
going to tell you something, too. Without looking, I can't name you another member of that Reds team.
I remember Jose Rijo was
Jose
the
Rijo.
star
Yeah.
pitcher.
Okay.
At least that year he was a star pitcher. I don't know.
So it has been since the Red Machine.
Yes. Yeah, they won it.
Okay.
And, the college team has really grown,
bet,
but not won a title. with
Barry
the
Larkin.
Bearcats.
Barry Larkin was on
Barry
that team.
Larkin was probably on that team.
Yeah.
And, I should have been able to name Barry Larkin.
Okay.
He had never played anywhere else, did he?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
What about Kevin Mitchell? Was he a Red?
He was at one time.
1990.
That's a good question. That would be interesting to see that starting lineup for that Reds team in the World Series, and maybe some. I'm sure that once we hear the names,
Marge Schott. She was
Yeah, Mark
she was a
Schott.
Red
Who
in
could forget her?
1990.
yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected, but still, I think it's a city
So
in
funny.
desperate need of a championship.
For some reason, I saw an episode or two of Married with Children this past week, and Marge Schott was mentioned
They should dedicate this championship
in a
if they win
comedy-like
it
way.
to Johnny Fever. In my
Yeah,
gift.
well, there you go. Yeah,
WKRP. Cincinnati.
WKRP, who passed away either on the day or the day after that they earned the trip,
Earned the
right?
trip,
to the
yeah.
to the
very
Super
very
Bowl.
very close to the champion.
Lenny says, I think it was 70 or 71 when UCLA defeated Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Could you imagine it? Well, I guess it's happened, with some of these other teams, but a team like Jacksonville or the size of that school or
I
whatever
know.
getting in the Final Four today,
Yeah.
but we did see it with some of these other smaller
Yeah.
schools.
It'd be similar to what George Mason did, or
Yeah.
what VCU did, or
One of the Loyolas,
one of
wasn't
the
it?
Loyolas Chicago did
yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, or was it even Loyola? Where was it?
Yeah.
Where was it?
It's been Loyola.
Was it okay?
It still was Loyola.
Okay.
There's a couple more names from that Reds team. Eric Davis.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah,
I
Eric
should have
Davis.
remembered Eric Davis.
Paul O'Neill.
Paula O'Neill. Nah, I always used to pick when
Hey,
Paul
hey,
O'Neill played for the
Paula.
Yankees. I called him Paula, but
Rob Dibble.
Rob Dibble.
Rob
Should have
Dibble.
remembered Rob Dibble. What's Rob Dibble best known
And
for?
Ken Griffey Sr.
What's
Wow,
what's
that's a pretty
Rob
good
Dibble?
team.
So Ken Griffey Sr. was on the Big Red Machine.
He was 40 years old on that. When
How
he
about
played on
that?
team.
So he eclipsed both of their eras. Wow.
And he would have had to play. I mean, he had to be on the Big Red Machine like when he was what then? 18, 19,
18,
20?
20
if,
the most.
or something right in there. I mean, what was the last? Well, no, they won it in 75,
Five.
76,
Yeah.
75. Yeah, he He could have been 20 couple whenever he played on the Big Red Machine. Didn't they finally one play in the majors together? Senior
Yeah,
and
they
junior?
did.
Yeah. On the same field?
I think they played on the same team.
They may have. They may have in the final days of
Is that a
senior's
first
career.
in the majors? That's probably not the only
I don't know.
major
I don't know.
father-son combo.
No, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, definitely the best one. No
It'd be
doubt.
hard to beat and not be the best one, for tandem of father and son, the Griffeys. Appreciate you guys tuning in this morning, our loyal listeners up and about.
I wonder how many of our loyal listeners are just turning on the radio now rather
I don't
than
know.
trying to go on.
I don't know. It just depends on where you are,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I mean, if it's easier, obviously, if you're just driving down the road or whatever that may be.
Yeah.
But give it a shot if you're on the internet, want to try it. It's of course 1050 AM, 107.5 FM. If you'd like to hear it on the radio, and the FM picks up pretty good range.
Does it?
Pretty good range.
It's
So that
probably
tells me Mike hasn't tried it yet. So does it? The man said
will.
does
I'm
it.
only 10 miles away from the transmitter, right? I'll try it.
Probably so. About the same distance I am, probably.
Right.
But yes. High school basketball, guys. We'll talk about the Super Bowl, obviously, the big game coming up on Sunday. But high school basketball is winding down. Believe it or not, there's quite a few makeup games around the area today, and as far as I know, just about everybody played last night. I was just going to try and go through a few of the area scores that have been loaded on the Max Prep scoreboard for this morning. This is kind of funny. It says here that Combine Academy was to play Piedmont Classical last night, and the scores missing so were at least 5 of their players.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we saw them walking around Lincoln all night last night. Did you not see those 6'6" dudes walking around?
I did not.
You didn't? Yeah, they were there, weren't they, Brett?
They were at the LHS gym.
At the Lincoln and West Lincoln game
Okay.
last night. I'm sure they got multiple teams. I was just
Right.
joking about them no showing for their game, but they actually have multiple teams at the Combine Academy. You always just about point them out because they're the ones that average 6'3" and up.
Yep.
When they're walking around. Good looking athletes
Mm-hmm.
in that in there last night, taking in the game. Just glancing here, Apex scored 100 points last night in a high school basketball game, which is hard to do. They beat Green Hope 100-71. Pisgah at home last night beat Tuscola 88-64. What if they do a half and half for the basketball game? The football game has been known to give away $20,000 plus some years. And I'm saying give away that much, 20,000 plus on half and half night for the football game. Last night, Pisgah beat Tuscola at home 88-64. It was Monroe, Brett, defeating Forest Hills 63-41 last night. Forest Hills hadn't had quite the season that we remember over the last 8 to 10 years, how good and competitive they have been.
Yeah, East Lincoln remembers them.
Yes, a couple times. Thorn in their side.
Yeah.
For a couple years. Was Forest Hills down in what's the name of that little town there?
Marshall. Somewhere down
Marshall is exactly what I was trying to think of. Had Wingate on my mind, but
Yeah.
Marshall. East Gaston last night beat Highland Tech 78-67. Lincoln down West Lincoln 74-63. I will say this for folks in attendance would probably agree with me. This game was much closer than the 11-point score indicates. Lincoln stretched it out at the end, kind of pulled away, but
Yeah.
West Lincoln probably led more of the game than Lincoln did.
Yeah, I'm
night,
already
more
writing.
minutes.
I'm already writing my story, and I'm saying, this game was really undecided until Lincoln had sort of gained control, and it was in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. It was like 55-49, then it stretched out a little bit, 58-50, 60-50. So yeah, it was a very competitive.
Seemed like they might have had about a 10-0 run or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
had a run there in the
pulled
fourth
away.
quarter, and kind of got control of the game.
And the first meeting was a 2-point contest
Yeah.
at West Lincoln. Lincoln escaped with a 2-point contest up there last night, 74-63. Very competitive game
I'm
last
just
night.
impressed that West Lincoln, 6 and 7, 9 and 14 or whatever. That's such an improvement. I mean, after all those years of struggle, they've got a competitive basketball team this year.
West Caldwell played last night. I don't know if you should know it. I sent you a message yesterday, Mike. West Caldwell was upset on Thursday night by Bandy's.
Right.
Bandy's beat them by 2 points at home. What if I told you West Caldwell gave up 81 points last night to East Burke?
But won the game.
They won the game, 92-81.
I think I saw that score.
last
I couldn't
night.
believe the 81 on East Burke's part.
I know. Usually West Caldwell's winning games 47-35, but I'm surprised by the amount of points last night scored in that one. West Caldwell, check me if I'm wrong, but I think they enter today, the final day of the season. I think West Caldwell may be finished, but
They're
Maiden's got a
finished.
game today, but they're tied for first place right now. Are they not, Brett? They are
Yeah,
tied for
both-
first.
They are technically, yeah.
2 losses
Two
each.
losses each.
Yeah, but the
And they split the head-to-head.
They split the head-to-head, but according to the information that I got from Butch Parker, and if he can correct me if I'm wrong, West Caldwell would hold the tiebreaker because as you go down the totem pole, Lincoln's in third place. West Caldwell, one of their losses is to Lincoln. Maiden, one of their losses is to Lincoln, so that would bump them down to the 2 spot
Right.
if everything holds up today.
So there's no way that Lincoln can get that number 2 playoff spot at this point.
I can't answer that. I don't know. If Maiden loses today, possibly.
Possibly.
And I think they play East
Well, what
Burke
if you win the
today.
tournament? If you're the third seed
Yeah,
and you win a
well,
Well,
tournament,
you're
yeah.
in. Yeah,
do you
Well,
get
if
the number 2?
the tournament bumps,
you would.
the tournament moves you to 2, leaves number 1 alone. And it's kind of weird whenever it's a tie for first, too, because
Yeah.
think about that. You could tie for first and wind up in third if somebody that's not 1 or 2 wins the conference
That's
tournament. So, yeah, the conference tournament's going to be interesting because
You're playing for something.
I mean, I think
something.
West Caldwell, now that they've got their players back, they had a couple players had a 3-game suspension, actually 3 players. Now that they've got those guys back, they've got to be the favorite going
Yeah.
into the tournament, but they are beatable because we saw that on Thursday night when they went to Mandy's.
Yeah.
They lost that game. So, West Caldwell was a winner last night, as we said, with 92 points in that contest. Harding beat South Meck 51-50. Mitchell over Owen 89-55. Let's see. Garinger, Rocky River. Rocky River wins 60-53. Trying to find some here local. Have to scroll pretty fast. Don't want to miss anybody, though. Western North Carolina scores Starmount 71, East Wilkes 53. I'm looking for, because I'm most interested in Hickory's score from last night, and I'm sure I'll run across it here in a minute to see if Hickory won the Western Foothills outright or if East Lincoln could slip in there with a tie.
Did you give the Maiden Newton Conover score? I'm seeing it on my screen.
Hadn't got there yet, I don't
Okay.
guess. What is it?
Maiden 74, Newton Conover 54.
74, a 20-point win.
The Hickory won very easily.
Did they?
Yeah.
And it was over.
Statesville.
Yeah, okay. Statesville had played some people a lot better than they did in the first round of conference play, but
Not last night.
Not last
No.
night. No,
81-30.
So Hickory wins the conference. They win that Western Foothills outright over East Lincoln, because East Lincoln lost an overtime game this week to North Iredale, which bumped them out of first place.
Well, now is East Lincoln pretty secure for second?
As long as somebody different don't win the tournament.
As long as somebody doesn't turn.
Yes, as long as somebody other than them or Hickory wins the tournament, which North Iredale may be capable. You've seen them,
Yeah,
and you told
They
me they
are.
were a very good team.
they're capable.
Yeah, so it should be I think all these tournaments will be fun, especially once you get to round 2.
Now, is the Western Foothills is at East Lincoln? Am I correct? At
Yes.
least the semis
Yes.
and finals.
Yep, not the first round, but
Right.
rounds 2 and 3.
Well, that should help East if you consider home court advantage. Of course, they don't have to win the tournament, but probably.
Butch said that the Newton girls clinched the regular season championship in the CVAC, number 1 seed for the tournament, with a bye because West Caldwell, we know the girls don't have a varsity girls program, so Newton's girls will get a bye into the second round.
Mm-hmm.
West Caldwell's boys clinched at least a tie for the regular season last night. They are the 1 seed, and yes, Maiden has a big game today at home against East Burke. But now, am I right, Butch, when I say if West Caldwell will still get the 1 seed even if they finish tied, just because of the way you go down the totem pole, as we always call it. So he can answer that for me. North Iredell, we talked about, they were a winner last night over county rival West Iredell, 75-62. East Surrey beat Surrey Central 73-66. Excuse me. Watauga falls to Ashe County 57-50. Crest over Kings Mountain. Brett, this one was not as close as I expected. 79-57, 22-point win for Crest
Well, I think
over
Crest
Kings
has
Mountain.
wrapped up the title, have they not?
I think so.
Oh yeah, I think they went undefeated in the, in the conference.
they ran through it.
But that first game was much closer, was it not?
Yeah.
And, of course, it was at Kings Mountain. But this one, not
But
that close.
I think Kings Mountain lost earlier this week, so that game last night didn't even mean anything.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was shaping up to be for first place, and then Kings Mountain lost a game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Crest had it wrapped up before last night. But
And Kramer, where are they finish in that mix?
Did they? I don't know if they
third or
finished
fourth?
third. Yeah, third.
South
or
Point's
fourth.
pretty good too. You know,
Yeah.
South Point beat North Gaston last night, 61-42. Here's that one Brett told me about, 81-30 Hickory, leaving no doubt. You know that, and you know what? When you got a chance to play for conference championship, you want to get out there and get it over with in a hurry. Make a statement quick, and not have to feel all the pressure coming down at the end of that game. Hopewell defeated Huff, low scoring game. Hopewell 56, Huff 39 last night.
David, before we get away from the Big South, I see where Ashbrook won the bell, 61-42 over Huss.
Got it right here. You're exactly right. And neither one of those teams really had a good season, not what we're used to from those two programs.
Huss is, I don't know what's going on.
What are their records, Brett? You still got the standings pulled up from that league in front of you?
Yeah, I was actually just looking to
With
see.
Ashbrook, I don't even recall winning very many.
And they were the ones who upset Kings Mountain this week.
Wow.
Ashbrook was. Ashbrook went 6-8 in the conference, which was tied for fifth with Forest View.
What did Huss finish?
2-12. 5-17 overall.
Yeah.
And North Gaston's 0-14, so that was Huss's 2 wins were over North Gaston.
What in the world? I mean, Huss.
Well, the only thing that comes to my mind is Gaston Day and Gaston Christian, and I don't know that that's where they're going to play or anything, but that's I was told that, and other places too. I told that Hunter Huss lost like 4 starters before the season started.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't graduate.
Oh, it went somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, they did lose their longtime coach. I'm trying to think of that guy's name, Walt something, but he was there.
Yeah, that's probably the main.
He was there for 15, 20 years.
Frazier.
Yeah, it was Walt Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
And what was the other Walt? It was Hazard.
Walt Hazard.
Yeah. Lynn, I'm gonna make this comment because I don't want to miss it. Lenny said, "I do remember that Bob Lanier led St. Bonaventure in that same Final Four."
Yes, he
I was
did.
talking about that 1970 or 71 UCLA and
Big Bob
Jacksonville
Lanier. Yeah.
Final Four. And Butch confirms, yes, West Caldwell will enter the conference tournament as the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the big game, Butch's eyes, is maybe Lincoln and Maiden could still wind up tied. I'm not sure if that's a possibility or not. And I know they split during the regular season as well. So,
Well, if Maiden would happen to lose today, they would have the same number of losses.
As Lincoln. If Lincoln beats Bunker Hill today. No, who's Lincoln?
Yeah, Lincoln does play Bunker Hill.
yep, they both play. Both play today.
But Lincoln has 1 less game than Maiden.
Right.
That's
Right?
right.
And
That's
it goes
right.
by a win percentage.
Yeah,
So
Maiden would get it.
that would give Maiden the nod as long as they win, I guess.
Well, what do you guys?
I would say Maiden finishes second either way.
Yeah.
Because even if they lose,
Yeah.
they're going to have a better winning percentage than Lincoln.
Yep.
Still want to win. Still want to go into the conference tournament on a winning note.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see them losing to East
No.
Burke
Right.
at home. Right.
I didn't see West Caldwell losing at Bandy's either.
No, that's true.
So
But what if Maiden wins the conference tournament? Are they still the 2 seed, or do they
You can't
pass?
take over the 1.
No.
From what I understand,
You
I don't know.
cannot.
Butch can tell me that. He's the commissioner.
'Cause
He can
that-
send me a message.
I mean, overall, they would finish with a better record
Yeah, I
than
know.
West Caldwell,
I know.
and they would probably have
all
to beat
that's
them.
in the bylaws.
have
I
to beat
just
them
don't
2
know
out
what
of
they
3.
say. Those bylaws are in Butch's pocket.
And he might lose them.
Yeah,
Because I would say Maiden's the hottest team.
wore a different
right
set
now.
of pants.
Yeah, but West Caldwell getting those suspended players back might be.
Yeah, but they lost a game with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lost to Bandy's with them. Here you go, Mike Powell.
What's that?
Cherryville 59, Thomas Jefferson 51. Last
right.
night, the Ironmen get a win
Yeah,
over
they,
the Griffins.
They've had a decent year. I think. I know they're about even in the conference and won 14-15 games. Not bad.
I saw somewhere, I think it was a tweet, Scott Harrell's 400th win
Wow.
at Cherryville.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a milestone.
How about that? Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
He's already the winningest boys coach in Gaston County ever.
According to my
As far as
scoreboard,
number of wins.
according to my scoreboard, Butler and Independence are in the second quarter right now. Did you see that, guys? On the Max Prep scoreboard live, second quarter.
Live,
Well, I saw one game. It was
About-
21-19, and it had it as a final.
That's
Oh
not
my
like
goodness, that's scary. Polk County beat Brevard last night, 65-56. We're going to talk about that conference. I know you think why that conference, but because it involves some of the Rutherford County schools too. But Cox Mill beat South Iredale 76-41. North Wilkes falls to North Surrey 77-49. Concord over Lake Norman Charter 77-66. All these are Friday night scores. Central Cabarrus 87, Northwest Cabarrus 46 last night. Let's see, nothing else in our immediate area here. Here's one that's
Bandy's Bunker Hill. Did you get that?
in the private sector. Community School of Davidson 70, Pine Lake Prep 52. Go ahead and give us Bandy's. And
Yeah, Bandy's continuing its little run here. Bandy's 54.
I remember
Bunker
reading
Hill
it, but I don't remember if I
49.
said it.
54-39.
RS Central, the champions of the, what is the name of that conference, Brad? Any idea the name of that conference that they're in?
No.
They beat Hendersonville this past week in a thriller. Wasn't it 1 point? 1 or 2?
I think it was overtime.
Yeah, 1 or 2 points in overtime, but RS last night beats Chase 85-52. And it looks like they may be the number 1 seed overall in the 2A West when the pairings come out.
Hendersonville went 21-2, and RS Central was their 2 losses.
2 losses. RS beat them twice, and Hendersonville for that is going to make somebody else suffer because Brett tells me that's going to drop Hendersonville to the 11 overall, and they're probably the first or second best team in the West, but they're going to drop to 11 because they're not a conference champ, and we have 10 conference champs that will be seated ahead of them in the West.
And Patton went 8-3 in that conference.
That means they beat one of them.
No, I guess they only played one of them once. They had one less game.
They couldn't have beat one of them because of the
No.
record, right? Okay.
They didn't, but they beat everybody else.
Rivalry game last night in Cleveland County. Shelby beat Burns 68-51. I'm sure Shelby sewed up that conference probably a couple games back. I think last time I looked, they had a 3-game lead with just a couple to go. Right?
Shelby?
Yeah.
I thought they finished tied with Bessemer City.
Oh, did they? Well, you need to look that up then.
Bessemer City beat them on Monday.
Did not know that.
And I thought that tied them.
How good is this Bessemer City team?
Oh, they're good.
Evidently.
I heard they had 2 6'5" guys.
Wow.
And then they had the guy that averaged about 30
Yeah.
last year as a sophomore. Their best 3 players are juniors.
What was his peak last year? Didn't he hit 60?
He hit, 60
in one game?
Yeah, Pettis is his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bessemer City's 11-1 in conference. So they finished tied with Shelby
Okay.
and they split.
Okay. I don't know why. Maybe it was the girls I was thinking about for Shelby.
I'm sure they
had the bigger
ran away
lead.
with
Okay.
it.
And Bessemer City has the best dressed coach in boys basketball, Danny McDowell.
And you don't have a picture to prove it, to show us? So
No, but he always comes out in a suit, a vest, the whole get.
the vest.
The vest.
I like rocking the vest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bessemer City beat Shelby on
wonder when the last time was Bessemer City beat Shelby in an athletic event. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Pretty epical.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive for them to beat Shelby and finish tied co-champions in that league. And they won't have to play them in the playoffs either because they'll be aren't they 1A?
Yeah.
Okay, just
They're
making
1A?
sure. Just making sure because with the realignment, I might miss one here and there.
Bessemer's 18-3 overall.
AC Reynolds beat McDowell 70-59. It was Mount Airy over Allegheny 60-44. More Western North Carolina scores here. Marvin Ridge falls to Weddington. Is Weddington good at everything? Weddington 74, Marvin Ridge 36. Freedom over Alexander Central 80-62 last night. No score reported from Hendersonville and Patton. So is this the game that's missing, Brett? That's why Patton don't have
Yeah, that would be it.
Yep. And I wonder if they got to play or not. Asheville defeated Inca. No, let me take that back. I don't want to startle anybody, because especially Phil Robinson, because Phil tells me how good this Maiden – I mean, I got Maiden on my mind because Butch sent me something. Phil tells me how good this Inca team is. Inca beat Asheville 91-59 last night. Wilkes Central falls to Forbush 85-53. East Lincoln over North Lincoln 68-52 last night in high school basketball action.
Well, David, East Lincoln having a little bit of a rough spot here near the end of the season. You know, one time they were undefeated in the Western Foothills, right?
Mike, yeah, I'm not going to say they're having that rough of a time. I think
Just played some good competition.
well, and they won the close games the first time around, didn't they, Brett? Brett, no, they won a lot of games decided by less than 5 early on. So, you know, I don't think they're, you know, it's a slide, yeah, because they lost. But guess what? They lost to Hickory,
yeah.
who they had beaten once, and they lost to North Iredale, who had played them to a 2-point game when you were there, right?
Yeah.
So
That's right. Yeah, that game came down to
and see, this one went to overtime. So to me, North Iredale
Yeah.
and East Lincoln seemed to be very close. In
Yeah.
you know,
the only thing was when in the rematch between East and Hickory, Hickory pretty much had their
in the
way.
Hickory one, yes, but not in the North Iredale.
Not in the
one.
North Iredale one.
Hickory's the favorite to win the tournament. Let's
Yeah.
face it, even though it's at East Lincoln. I mean,
Yeah, they got size.
they strengthened their team a little bit as well.
Yeah.
You know, since the first round when
they got
added-
great depth too.
Yeah.
I mean, they just keep bringing these big guys off the bench.
And congratulations to West Lincoln girls last night. They beat Lincoln last night before the boys' game 68-42.
Yeah, big good games from Chloe Norman. I think she had 17, and Farrah Richardson also had 17.
How about that? Let's see here. I want to read something real quick, and then we're going to take a break. Brett, you got us queued up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the bumper music as we head to break. We'll see if it's going to work this morning.
All right.
Um,
Some real music, as they say.
It says, Butch says he's rewritten the bylaws this morning, and it says if Maiden,
brand
I'm
new.
joking, Butch, if Maiden would win today and the tournament, if West Caldwell would be against them in the finals, they have to play West Caldwell in the finals to move to number 1.
Okay.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it
But I
looks
think that's
like-
fair.
It is fair.
because then
It's
you would beat them.
absolutely
You would
fair.
beat them 2 out of 3.
Yeah. That's
But
fair.
to me, I don't know. It just seems to me like if you, I don't hear the music. To me, if you, I don't hear the music.
What are you talking about?
I got music playing, and that's why I asked you if it was
not
queued
hearing it.
up. There you go.
There we go.
To me, if you finish, you know, they all. I don't know if conferences ever want to do that or not, but if you split and you finish higher than them in the tournament, would you have a problem with them getting the 1 if you finish higher than them in the tournament? I mean, if West Caldwell's smart, they'll forfeit the second round, right?
I guess.
If you want to be the top seed, forfeit the second round.
Let's just wait and see. How about that?
That COVID might spring up again in the
Good.
second round of the conference tournament. But it said, yes, Maiden would be the top seed because of head-to-head. That is if they get to play them again. Hey, I've seen stranger things happen. Who knows, right? Let's take a time out. We'll be back with more sports talk here in just a moment.
Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
And welcome back to Sports Talk.
Nice.
The good thing is, Brett, I can fade it. So
Nice to hear some rock and roll.
do I got?
Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy. The Super Bowl was tomorrow. Did anybody mention that?
Oh, that's right.
You guys ready to do your picks? In the last segment of the show, I just mean, are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. So,
Although on the way up, I heard that Matthew Stafford led the league in turnover. And I don't know.
Leaving out your favorite teams or the teams you like or follow or want to see, who would have been the premier matchup in the Super Bowl. Because, I mean, we know now that football, I think the NFL is one of the most even sports, one of the most unpredictable sports. But not many people, picked both of these teams to be in there together. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think you would have when the playoffs began. I mean, most people in the AFC would have picked Green Bay.
For me, it would have been
maybe the Rams. But
I'm going cold weather. Buffalo versus Green Bay would have been mine.
It's what you'd like to have seen.
What I would
playing
have
in
liked,
Los Angeles.
What I would
in
like
LA.
to have seen would have been Belichick against Brady.
Well, yeah.
I think that would have been the
point.
premier matchup
Yeah.
for this year.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. Did New England get in the?
They got in.
They were in the
got
playoffs and they got beat.
smoked.
Yeah, they got beat.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City's never a bad thing for me to watch.
Yeah, Green Bay, Kansas City would have been good.
Yeah, been a
two premier quarterbacks.
It also been a replay of Super Bowl I.
Yeah,
had that happen. I think I'm gonna tell you right now, with the quarterbacks in the AFC, it's going to be a tight race every season. I mean, because I sit here and I look at that Buffalo jersey behind Brett, and it reminds me that Josh Allen's not going anywhere, and that team's pretty doggone good, and they could have easily been in this spot tomorrow. Cincinnati's going to be there. They're there for the long haul now with that young team and that tandem. Yeah,
Mahomes isn't going anywhere either.
Mahomes is, yeah. I don't know what it is there, though. I cannot figure it out and put my finger on it. A team 21-3 at halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were ahead 21-3.
That's one of the all-time great collapses.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I tell you what it was. Cincinnati only rushes 3 guys. They got 8 back. Mahomes couldn't find anybody. He's still looking for somebody to get open. I mean, that was the thing.
And they're not scoring right before halftime.
Yeah.
Any points at all. Kind of did them in. That changed the momentum of that game, it seemed like, entirely.
And Andy Reid wouldn't run the football. He obviously in love with the passing game, but he didn't run the football in the second half.
Well, you say that. I always wonder, is it, I know Andy Reid is ultimately in charge, but, there could be audibles coming at the line of scrimmage and, just, I don't know.
But I'm saying you would think,
Mahomes
though,
seems to like to throw the ball.
If you're only rushing 3 guys, there might be some opportunity to find some creases for the running game. I don't know. But you're right, audibles, things change at the line of scrimmage.
They do. They really do. And, I don't know. I'm trying to think of those other teams that would have been fun to see to be there. San Francisco's, I like San Francisco, but they're so blue collar. It's just like we're gonna beat you because we're physical.
Yeah.
There's no dynamic offense there or anything like that. Even though I think Deebo Samuel's one of the better offensive weapons in the NFL.
You got to love the way they used him all over the place.
Yeah, and. Man, you got to like his attitude. They said he was just crying his eyes out in the locker room after losing that championship game 2 weeks ago to the rival Rams. So,
well,
I don't know.
Do we put that loss on Jimmy G? I don't know that that's fair.
Well, all people are going to remember, Mike, is that last pass attempt he threw.
True. That was horrible.
It was. It
of
was
course,
pretty
the game
bad.
was already lost.
And he seems probably so. I don't think they would have made. I don't think they'd come back at that point. But it's just like he throws one of those a game.
Yeah.
He can't go a full game without throwing one like that. And there's other players out there. He's not the only one. There's others out there that get that label.
But ultimately, the
well.
defense, the SF defense, with its heralded front 4, couldn't make a stop at the end, right?
Could it be because they were worn out because they were out there so much?
Yeah, that's possible.
That's one of the things that comes to my mind. Before we get into football and the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff, we've still got some, quite a bit of time. We want to talk about some other things because let's go through the ACC standings at this point. We still only have one team in the ACC that is ranked, and why is Wake Forest not ranked?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, I'm just
what, 18
at a
and 4,
glance.
got a really good record.
20-5.
20-5. They already hit the
20-5.
win mark.
According to my standings right here, 20-5. But in third place in the ACC, Duke is 10-3. Notre Dame is 10-3. Wake's 10-4. Miami and North Carolina both 9-4. Virginia 9-5. Syracuse 7-6. Virginia Tech 6, and Florida State both 6-7. Florida State to me may be the biggest disappointment. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
In the conference, Louisville, Boston College, Clemson, Pitt, Georgia Tech, and NC State holding everybody up.
And looking at
the
Wake
bottom.
Forest's schedule, they don't really have any bad losses.
But no signature wins.
Yeah.
Well, no, they hadn't really had a chance for one other than, they played Duke. They beat Florida State twice. They beat Carolina by 22.
Well, I was going to say, Duke can't be the only signature win in the ACC. I still think if you
And they
beat
beat-
Carolina or you beat Notre Dame or you beat Miami
They
or
beat
Virginia.
They beat Virginia and Carolina and Florida State twice. Out of conference, they beat Oregon State. I don't know how good Oregon State is or if they're any good. No, 3-18. Never mind.
signature
Their
win.
non-conference loss was to LSU, which that's not a bad loss.
Yeah.
How bad did LSU beat them? Something's working.
By 14.
Ooh, something's working against them here.
And they've lost
Keep 'em out of
to
the poll.
Louisville, Miami, Duke, and Syracuse in conference. They lost to Syracuse by 22, so that's pretty bad. But still at 20-5 and being in the ACC, you would think, that would at least get them some votes.
They are 6th, so they would be ranked 31st. They are the number 6 if you go down the totem pole.
And what
of
about Notre
others
Dame?
getting
Are
votes.
they there?
Notre Dame is I just saw them. I thought I did. Yes, they're on the list, but they only got three votes, period. Wake Forest did get 21.
Yeah. Not a lot of love for the ACC among the AP voters.
And what was one time the best basketball conference in the nation.
Well, let's put it this way.
Been a while.
How many teams do you think will make the big dance from the ACC?
I think 6.
I do too.
I think Virginia
They
will
play-
get in, and they're at 6th
Well,
right
I
now.
don't-
I do too.
It's hard to
Virginia gets
imagine
in.
6 though when there's only one ranked.
Yeah, but
And those 6 you're talking about, they're going to, some of them are going to take some more losses because
That's
you
right.
can't, they're going to be head to heads. I don't know. I don't know if they get 6 or not. Tell me who they are.
What's Duke, Notre Dame, Wake, Miami, Carolina, and Virginia.
yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But that could change.
Fortunately for the
But
ACC,
there's a good chance at least one of those has a bad stretch.
Right.
do they ever look at what you've done the last few years in the NCAA tournament? Because that might help Virginia, but you can't block it out of your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Virginia's been a pretty good tournament team, except for the year when they lost in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And Virginia's got Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech, their next 2 games. They got to win those. Then Miami and Duke.
Mm-hmm.
So Florida State and Louisville. They've got, I'd say if they win 4 out of those 6, they'll have a strong case.
I'm just sitting here looking at the teams on the outside. On the outside of the top 25 poll. Wyoming is the top one. They received 82 votes. Then Arkansas.
Well, Josh Allen's playing point guard there.
Maybe. Probably could do it. Iowa State, Davidson coming in with 35 points.
Yeah,
Boise
they
State.
had a long winning streak.
Davidson did.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's over, but they've been quietly putting together a really good year.
Yep, I'm guessing they're probably, I don't know, leading their conference, top dog in their conference. Will probably get in the tournament. Of course, they may have to win their tournament to do it, but you would think being, 29th in the country would, but with all those automatic bids there are out there, you don't know if 29th in the country will get you in, And there's still some basketball you have to play, too.
So what Brett and I are saying is that could the ACC have more teams in the Big Dance than even the Big 12? I'm looking at the Big 12, and I see 5 teams that are, I think, locks. But after that, Oklahoma 4-7 and 14-10, K-State 4-7, 12-11. I don't know.
4-7, 12-11 better not get you.
No, that's not going to get in. I don't see Oklahoma getting in.
No. But don't you see TCU with a chance to get in?
Absolutely, 16-5. But
Yeah,
again,
and
and over 500 in the conference.
Over 500 in the
But-
conference.
but they're not ranked,
Yeah.
which tells you that their strength of schedule is probably what's lacking a little bit. They don't have the signature wins to
Yeah,
be ranked.
Probably not.
But yeah, anybody, I can't imagine anybody that's ranked.
Well, Iowa
at this
State
point.
was 13-0 in non-conference, and now they're 3-8 in the conference.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, 13-0.
yeah. What kind of schedule did they play in the non-conference season? Yeah.
Well, Bob Huggins, West Virginia, 3-7. They're not going to get in, I wouldn't think. Unless they win the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know of any. Well, yeah, I wouldn't think so either. But I just kind of, you got to think about what they do outside the conference. Should they play any of these teams that are ranked in the top 15 and pick up a win over a top 15 team or two? Because that always helps you.
Yep.
I've always wondered this, and maybe each committee member looks at it differently. But which means more, a big win or a bad loss? Good win or bad loss? Which one? Which one would you look at more? If
Probably, as far as making a bad loss, I think really hurts you.
yeah. But does that outweigh
A good win.
which one? I mean, if you got a team today and they go out there and they beat Gonzaga, for instance, yet they lose to Prairie View.
Well, if you use that analogy, then the big win holds more weight, I think.
It kind of would for me. Because it shows, I mean, in a way, I know you're capable of losing to anybody if you lose that one game, but you're also capable of beating anybody.
Yeah.
And I think the big win, maybe a little more power to it. Mike already told you Kansas, then Baylor, Texas Tech, Texas, all ranked. TCU, that's about as far as it gets as far as teams that probably get in the big dance. Oklahoma, K-State. Oklahoma, K-State, and Oklahoma State and West Virginia are all schools we're used to seeing in the tournament.
Oh, we are.
But I don't think there's no way. There's just no way that
OU had a long
those
run
teams are
there
getting
with
in.
Lon Kruger, a good coach who retired. I think they're kind of still in transition.
we talked about this a week or two ago. We talked the Big East, how it might be the best overall basketball conference in the nation.
Yeah.
Providence still leading that conference, 10-1. Villanova, 11-3. Marquette, UConn, Creighton, who's not ranked, and then Xavier in sixth place, who is ranked 25th in the country. Seton Hall at one time was earlier this year, weren't they well respected and playing really well? Kind of slipped a little bit now. And then
Creighton, Xavier, all with winning records in the conference.
Yeah, there's 14-8 though for Creighton and not being ranked, but somehow they seem to always find a way to get in the tournament.
Oh, I think they'll be in
and make noise.
How about the
when they get there.
resurgence of Marquette under Shaka Khan, Shaka Smart? I was going to say Shaka Khan. Sorry.
Either way, give her some credit.
Yeah.
It's good to see for Marquette, 8-5, 16-8, third place in that conference right now. Let's see what else we got. Big Ten, Illinois 10-3, Wisconsin 10-3, Purdue 10-4.
I think that conference will get the most teams.
It seems to have the most depth, don't it? I mean, Ohio State could be the best team in the conference, and they're in fifth place. I mean, I've seen them play; they're pretty good.
Sparty's getting in, you know that. Purdue has been really good all year.
But the question is, yes, those ranked teams are getting in. But does a Rutgers get in, or Michigan, or Indiana? I don't know. I don't know where you draw the line there with that league, because all those
they
can't
could get in as many as 9.
You think?
Yeah, they could get 9.
They could.
Yep. They could go all the way through Iowa.
I'd say they'll probably get 8.
Yeah.
Because one of those down.
Well, I know
Rutgers or Indiana or Michigan.
Yeah.
One of those will have a bad stretch.
Have all of them been ranked at one time this year? I think Indiana and Michigan
I don't think so. It seems like Iowa was at one time.
Wouldn't think Rutgers has.
I don't think Rutgers has.
Is the is the 6th team in the conference right now at 8-5, but 14-9. And again, you can't pull up every one of these and look, but some of these 9 for Rutgers, and who else has 9 losses? Michigan. There's going to be some bad ones on there, you know. If you got 9 losses.
Oh, Rutgers, they've lost to a lot of the teams below them.
Yeah. There's
Penn State, Minnesota, Maryland, Northwestern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough bad losses there to keep them out.
How about the Wolverines, who were the sort of the darling of a big pick in the last couple of years under Jalen Rose?
Juwan Howard.
Juwan Howard.
If it were Jalen Rose, I wouldn't even mention him.
Yeah.
Michigan.
I got my Fab Five mixed up.
Michigan got a really big win over Purdue a couple nights ago. I mean, they destroyed them.
Yeah.
And now they play Ohio State tonight.
I think the committee will want to get Michigan.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they beat Purdue, and like Brett says, they play Ohio State today, they got they still got time to improve the resume.
And they got a lot. I mean, they got Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan State, Ohio State again, all left on their schedule.
You think that's good, but that's kind of bad.
Well,
too, because they're not going to win.
You just got to win more than you lose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm like Brett. I think 8 teams.
I think if you finish with a winning record in the Big Ten, I think you ought to get in.
Is it the best conference?
I think so.
It is.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. What's the second one?
I'd say Big 12.
Either Big 12 or Big East. Pac-12's
Big East
top
always
heavy.
comes to mind. Big East always comes to mind.
I think the Pac-12 has 4 good teams and then a bunch of bad teams.
Right.
Lenny says they're saying you need Q1 wins to get in. Before Thursday, UNC had 0. They picked up their first and didn't even play. Michigan demolishing Purdue turned into a quality Q1 win for Carolina because so what he's saying is they beat Michigan earlier in the year, and then Michigan all of a sudden by beating. I mean, these teams take their ups and downs, let's face it, through the year. So I don't know, I'm glad I don't have to judge what's a quality win and what's not. I don't know if there's a formula for that.
I'm sure there is.
We haven't even talked about the SEC. They're pretty good.
The
conference
SEC is really good. But, I mean, every team, it seems like 95% of your teams in NCAA basketball will have the ups and downs all year. Only a few can stay steady and just win consistently or just not be any good at all. So, is the quality win based on how they were and where they were ranked at that time or how they finish? I don't know. That makes it excuse me, makes it hard to.
The SEC can almost make a case for being
the best conference.
You look at the top and you go on down and you look at teams like, Florida's 16-8 overall.
LSU even.
Yeah, Alabama.
Go way down to LSU, 17-7 overall.
17-7.
Yep.
Even the Aggies of Texas A&M are 15-9 overall.
That is a good basketball conference. And Auburn has just been like one of the big stories of the year. Have they held a number 1 ranking more than anybody else so far?
It would appear so.
I don't see how anybody's had it. I mean, they're 22-2.
But they won't have it on Monday.
Who they play? Kentucky?
Well, no, they just lost this week.
Oh, did they? Okay. Yeah, I do. Yeah, they got 2 losses.
Arkansas beat
That's
them.
That's right. I watched it. That seems like that's been 3 weeks ago for some reason. It's been a long week, I can tell you that.
My guess is Gonzaga will move back to the number 1 spot.
And well deserving, rightfully so. They should.
But I think after watching a little bit of Arizona this past week, I think they're the best team in the country.
Arizona?
I think so.
When the last time they were relevant?
It's been a few years. The Sean Miller era is over.
I mean, Arizona sports has just been kind of like non-existent.
Well, yeah, you start thinking about how
football's been bad.
Football's been horrible.
You think about their baseball should always be good, but I don't know. It's just like it's just been kind of one of those states that you don't even think about when it comes to big time college
athletics.
athletics.
Give a shout out to Appalachian State. I mean, they got a good chance of making the big dance.
In first in their conference, right?
In first, 10-3 and 16-10.
Right.
I guess they got to win the tournament to get in, but they're in pretty good shape.
Before we go to break, real quick, I do want a couple announcements. But first, just look at the SEC real quick, just a rundown. Auburn and Kentucky are 1 and 2. Do they play again? Do they play each other again? I would be interested to know. I don't even know if they played once, but I think they did.
Either.
I think Auburn beat them, didn't they?
Well, if they played, Auburn won because
Auburn
they were undefeated in conference until
Arkansas
this week.
Recently beat Auburn. We know that.
Arkansas is a good team.
They don't play again.
Tennessee is a good team. They don't play again. Okay.
Nope. Auburn won at home over Kentucky by 9 a few weeks ago.
See, Lenny makes a really good point here. Alabama's record is average, but they have a slew of Q1 wins.
Oh, yeah, they have some great wins.
Yeah,
it seems like every time they play somebody that they're the underdog, they win that game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're in. I mean, my God.
Well, are they?
They beat Gonzaga.
15-9.
Who else they beat besides Gonzaga?
Well, I'm sure they beat some of those teams in their conference that are above them. Those would have been quality wins.
Yeah.
Oh, they beat Miami,
as well.
Houston.
Yeah. Houston
Houston was
good.
They beat Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Baylor.
So.
Yeah, Baylor's a good one, too. But I just look at that conference. Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida. All in. I even think Florida's in, even though they're just 16-8.
Right.
And then I think it starts being, Alabama probably going to get in just because of what he said right there, those Q1 wins. But LSU's good enough to me to be in the Final Four. I've seen them play.
Yeah, they need to get back over 500 in the conference.
They do.
Yep. Not so sure about some of the rest, though. I think once you get below, once you get below LSU, they're going home for.
That's whatever happened to Tom
March
Crean at Georgia. Look at that, 1-10.
He's down there.
At the bottom,
holding everybody up.
1-10 into the conference,
6-18
overall.
Hey, they won the national title in football. They
don't
could not care less.
They'll probably even let Crean stay on. They're so giddy.
Whatever happened, every basketball win now is just about icing on the cake because they're going to savor the football national championship for quite a while. I'm sure. Let's see. A couple things I want to mention here for Butch. Wrestling awards, Bandy's conference and state champions. Wrestler of the year in the CVAC was Caleb Moore from Bandy's. Coach of the year was Justin Adams from Bandy's, and they did have a tremendous year in in wrestling. Let's see here. He said, before I go off, let's make sure to mention that the semifinals and finals of the basketball tournament on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at CVCC. Admission is $8. And he says something here awkward about the he's bragging on the PA announcer, which will be, for some odd reason, yours truly.
Yours truly.
Truly, yep.
Are you doing that pro bono?
Yeah, at swim and wrestling. No, absolutely not. Swim and wrestling awards, along with 240 wrestlers at West Lincoln in the individual finals today. 240 wrestlers in the individual finals for that region today. Is that not a lot of people in that place? East Burke men's champ, Newton Conover women's champ in swimming. This is all CVAC news, and thank you, Butch, for sharing this. East Burke men swimmer of the year was Landon Lennox. East Burke girls had the female swimmer of the year, Chloe Hedrick. Newton Conover boys coach of the year, Nikki Stamey. East Burke had I got them backwards. Let me do this over because I read them out of order. The girls coach of the year was Sydney Carr, I think is how it's pronounced, Karre, out of Newton Conover. The boys was Nikki Stamey, East Burke. Chloe Hedrick, Newton Conover, swimmer of the year, and boys swimmer of the year. I got it, Landon Lennox. So, yep, just make sure I got those in order.
The conference basketball tournament start Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday. The let's do it this way. The Western Foothills 3A begins on Monday, which includes a few of our area teams. Hickory, East Lincoln, North Lincoln, St. Stephen's, Fred T. Ford, all those guys, they'll be playing on Monday at higher seeds. And then I think they skip Tuesday and move to Wednesday. CVAC begins on Tuesday. We'll play at higher seeds on Tuesday, then move to CVCC for 2 games a night.
And I'm guessing on Wednesday, it'll be the one seeds.
Yes,
will play
most likely because they usually get the extra day rest before the finals. Yes, so.
But CVCC is going to have a girls' game and a boys' game each night, right?
Yes, that is the way it's set up, right? One boys, one girls each night. That's the way it's been being, I think. So
yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, because your one seed.
Your two
girls,
one seeds will play on Wednesday.
The
assuming
game.
they win their first round. Well, Newton doesn't even have to play a first round girls' game.
Right.
So they'll be there.
They'll get plenty of rest.
Yeah.
Plenty of rest moving. Sometimes rest don't help you, though. Sometimes you just want to keep playing while you're playing well.
At this time of year.
And not have to shake the rust off. But I don't think it's that long of a break for them, really. Though,
no, it's just from last night.
Yeah,
or they might even play today.
And you know what? With the breaks we've had this year because of weather and COVID and stuff like that, the team should be used to having some days off without playing. Not even getting to practice. At least this week they should get to practice.
That's right.
on their days off. So, all right, let's take a quick time out. We will come back. We will talk some football in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. I haven't got to say this in quite a while. Mike Powell on lead guitar.
Yeah,
there.
hammering it out.
Hammering it out.
Those licks.
Yeah. How about that? Mike Powell on lead. Well, Brett wouldn't want me to say that's him on vocals, but
I think he would.
I'd take it.
yeah, really, I would too. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what a career they've had, right? A little heart there.
I
As we
mean,
come back in.
guys like Robert Plant.
They sing in the very high
had a
register.
pretty high pitched
Oh,
voice.
yeah.
Steve Perry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's high as it gets, and
And Robert Plant doesn't. I don't think he has that kind of voice anymore.
No,
but
no.
but back in his
Oh,
prime, he did.
Led Zeppelin's in Led Zeppelin's prime. Yeah, he could get up there.
all right, you guys have maybe Heart's not your favorite group, or you may like them, may not like them.
I like
but
it.
is that your favorite song by Heart, or is it something else?
Which one was that?
That was Barracuda.
I like Magic Man.
Magic Man's really good. I mean, they have
Yeah.
quite a few that
I
are
like
really good.
Crazy on You.
Crazy on You. is-
Another. Yeah, I like all three.
yeah,
of those.
especially the beginning
Yeah.
of Crazy on You, when a live version is really good.
And they do have a couple slower songs that were hits,
They
don't they?
do. The ballads. Yeah.
Dog and Butterfly.
Dog and Butterfly.
Is that the one you were thinking of?
Well, I wasn't really thinking of a particular one. But
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't
do.
all
They
have
do.
that fast pace rock
Do they
and
still
roll
tour
sound.
at all?
I don't know. Are they the greatest female rock band of all time?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And I have to call them female because they're led by females.
The only challengers would be, of course, the Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's.
Yeah, man, come
My
on.
gosh.
The Go-Go's.
The Go. That's not even rock.
Brenda Carlisle. She rocked.
Next you'll be saying the Bangles.
The Bangles are pretty good.
And I love the Bangles. I really do.
It's just another Manic Monday.
I follow
Come on.
Susanna Hoffs on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, there are bands that had women
Fleetwood
singers.
Mac.
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a. That's
right.
not a.
I don't call
not a
them
female.
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett. Was
Joan
that a?
Jett.
As far as just real rock and roll and everything, Joan Jett's probably behind
Yeah.
Heart, number 2.
Yeah,
I think
Jo-
Heart's the best.
Yeah,
I
as
mean,
far as pure
I don't even
rock
think it's
and-
close.
yeah, as
Anybody?
far as pure and rock and roll, Joan Jett and the Black Arts probably number 2.
You could go back to Jefferson Airplane if you wanted to. I mean, I'm just saying
Yes, you
a
could.
female.
Br-
a
yeah,
female.
Lanny. Come on now.
Hey, I got a debate out of them here now. This will
Hey.
be good at the breakfast table this morning.
You're talking about lead vocals in a rock and roll band. Grace Slick. Well,
The Pretenders.
Yeah, she was. I'd put them in.
They're
the
pretty
top.
good, but for some reason I've never. That's just not one of my favorite groups. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but
Part of that '80s new wave
they are.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Lenny, he throws another song in there by
Who's
Heart,
that?
and I thought about this one too. He throws Barracuda and Even It Up.
Okay.
Even It Up is a really good song. It's a really good song, and I've heard it quite a bit lately too, and don't know what
Well, I'm like Brett though. There's another big ballad that I can't think of the name of. That not just.
What's
Dog
the
and
ballad we're
Butterfly.
trying to think of, Lenny? The ballad by Heart. If it's not Dog and Butterfly,
It's not Dog and Butterfly, but something.
What about love?
What about
What
love?
about love?
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, that's it. Love. What about love?
Yeah.
I thought he was just asking the question.
I think that's the one I was missing.
Ponder the question.
Well, it's Valentine's.
Tell you how old
Day.
I am. One of my. You know how your proms have themes.
Oh yeah.
You know what the name of ours was one year?
I can't imagine.
Dog and Butterfly.
Was it?
Yeah.
How did you set
Don't
up?
know why.
How did you set up the decor for that?
Well,
As props.
Let the dogs out.
Okay. Just wondered.
Let's see what Lenny says here before we get back in. Pat Benatar.
Oh,
He
God,
said
yes.
it should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I did not realize she wasn't, but
Absolutely.
yes, yeah. Pat
Benatar.
Benatar may be.
But we were thinking
I
of
think
bands.
Pat Benatar is ahead of Joan Jett.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Well, Pat Benatar is more of a pop
Yeah.
vocalist than a
She
rock.
didn't really have a band.
I was thinking Blondie, but that's kind of like Pat Benatar. It's
New
a
wave.
pop.
Blondie's a great story. What was the name of the club in New York? No,
God.
not Playboy Land.
I'll
that's
think
the
of
book.
it in a minute.
Hibby Jibby or CBGB or
CBGB,
CBGB, yeah.
CBGB.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, it was
and it was something weird like that. That's,
it was the big alt rock.
Yeah, and it was called, what were those clubs? Dive bars or something like that. That's
Yeah.
what you call those clubs where she made her fame.
CBGBs.
But just went in there and just sang every night and hit it big, you know. Oh, boy, Super Bowl coming up tomorrow. Joe Burrow, second year. Basically, you know, kind of like his first year since he was injured last year and didn't get to play the entire season. But Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, the veteran here, changes teams. Did you know Matt Stafford in the playoffs was 0-3 all time, and now he's 3-3 and on his way to the Super Bowl. Just 1 year with a different team. I hate it for the Lions. I mean, I really do. But just one. Of course, this was a team that was put together to make a run.
This year.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Yankees build their baseball teams. They and they're not the only ones, but they do it more than anybody else. They load up and try to get really good, and especially if they see they're going to make the playoffs by the trade deadline, they'll add the pieces, and that's what the Rams did.
I think adding Odell
season.
Beckham, and he seems to have just taken off there.
He's been really a really good addition for that team, which is already good at wide receiver.
I know.
With Cooper Kupp and Jefferson. What's Jefferson's first name?
Yeah.
Brett.
I mean, it's probably the best roster in the NFL.
Yeah, and then they got the one that's hurt. That's
Robert Woods.
Woods out.
Yeah.
Out, but
well, they wouldn't have Odell Beckham if it wasn't for Robert Woods' injury.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. The Rams were in the Super Bowl 4 years ago. Lost to the Patriots, I think. Like only scored 3 points.
Yeah,
maybe.
real low scoring.
It's like 13-3. It's one of the most boring
It was.
Super Bowls of all time. I don't look for this one to be very boring, unless I can't see either team winning big. You know.
No,
I don't think it'll be a blowout. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
a
there's
lot of times you
turnovers.
think that, and then it is.
Well,
I'll
you
say
can't predict
this.
turnovers.
I think the key is Burrow cannot get sacked 9 times, and the Bengals win the game. So they've got to protect him.
And there's a chance he could get sacked 9 times tomorrow.
With this front four.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Yep. Donald, Von Miller.
Yeah.
And that's just,
Two of the greatest pass rushers ever.
Yep. I look at this, though, and I wonder, now don't get me wrong, we added a game this year to the regular season, but have we ever had a Super Bowl where we had the two teams in it were a combined 12 losses?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that just tells me about the
unless
parity.
the year the Giants won it when they finished the regular season.
They were 9-7. They had, but
the 1 year they beat New England, they were undefeated.
They didn't have a loss,
New
but
England
that
was
wasn't that year.
undefeated.
That was. I think that was the second.
New England wouldn't have had 5 losses either
No.
time.
Mm-mm.
Probably 12-4.
I just can't imagine, and this is probably going to be. I can't imagine this may not be the way. I mean, parity is at an all-time high right now in NFL because, just like I said when we first started the show this morning, you know, you wouldn't have. I don't think anybody out there would have had the matchup pick. Like Lanny, he picked the Rams. He got it, but he didn't have the other side, you know. I can't imagine not many people picked the Bengals to be in the Super Bowl in Burrow's second year when they hadn't been to the playoffs in forever. They hadn't won a playoff game in 30 years, right? Something like that.
And I mean, it's his second year, but he missed a lot of his first year due to a serious injury.
He did.
I could sit here and almost narrow down and tell you, I think I could get it within just a few teams of probably who plays in the World Series this fall and who plays in the NBA Finals. This football's different, man. It's just it's so good because it's so unpredictable.
That a team like Cincinnati.
These two teams are good, but they may not sniff it next year, Mike.
They may not. Yeah. 3 years ago they were calling Cincinnati the Bungles, and they were 4-12. Last year?
Well, okay, we're seeing prime examples here of what having a franchise quarterback does for your organization.
It is.
Both of them have new quarterbacks, and look where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, both of them have new quarterbacks. One's in his first year, one's, like you said, in his really 1.5 years with the Bengals, and here they sit.
The funny thing is, the Rams had a great roster and just added Stafford to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Bengals, we didn't. I mean, nobody thought they had a great a great roster.
But have you paid any attention though to what they did in free agency? I saw a story on them when the playoffs started, or right, maybe it might have been when they won their division. They did a story on them, and they said that they didn't just go out there just loading up on free agents, that they picked people that had been in winning organizations, people that had good character. Every free agent they signed was like a quality person and came from an organization where they were used to winning. And they think that had a lot to do with the success this year.
Yeah.
And the way they chose. You can't – most of the free agents they signed last year, they might have been 10 or 12, but you can't name them. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't the Von Millers or the –
No, the big addition that they made that stands out is Jamar Chase in the draft.
Yes. And we talk about how certain teams get hammered for not going to their players and getting their choice on that.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals asked Burrow, give us your thoughts on Chase, and he wanted him. I mean, obviously, and it wasn't just because they played together at LSU, but he knew what he was capable of, what kind of person he was, and all that kind of stuff. And they took his input and put him on the team.
Yeah, I think another thing, the emergence of Joe Mixon, my boy from
he's played real well.
I think he's a sort of a second tier. Derek, who's the Tennessee running
Henry?
back? He's a second tier.
Well,
Derek.
he's not that kind.
No,
of
I'm not saying he's not as
body
good,
style,
but he's a heck of a runner.
Oh yeah, he
runs
is.
With
he runs
power, and
he
he's got speed.
And great pass receiver out of the backfield, which I like to see.
He's a pretty big
big
running back.
dude.
Yeah.
He probably
He's 6'1", 220.
Yeah.
What's Henry's? Well, Henry's like 6'4", isn't he, or something?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think anybody's as
he's just
big as Henry.
You usually don't see running backs that are that big that are as good. Henry
but
runs over you.
Is also an open threat. He's
I like him.
An open
I like him.
When he good hands out.
And he's been there now. What, maybe 5 years? Is he?
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, been there that long. And showing no signs that running backs. Usually the lifespan of a running back's not very long, but he's
at his peak right now.
Well, he's at his peak, and all of a sudden, I think new life is. He's been rejuvenated by winning.
By winning,
and by Burrow being there and that kind of thing. This team, the Bengals, I think they're going to be around and be in the mix a long time, but it don't mean you'll get back real quick because the AFC's loaded with really good quarterbacks. I mean, and if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're sitting over there in Green Bay, why would you ever consider going to the AFC?
You wouldn't.
I mean, I know Denver's going to be all kind after him. Since they hired.
You can't now. Not if you want to win a Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, your chances of getting there are much better, even though you didn't make it this year.
In the NFC, Brady's gone now.
Yeah.
Drew Brees is gone.
So
those two teams took a big hit.
So Rodgers to Tampa.
Now why not?
Think about this.
New Orleans.
Why not?
New Orleans is different though. New Orleans lost Sean Payton.
Yeah, that
New
makes
Orleans
a big
lost
difference.
Drew Brees, and New Orleans now may lose Alvin Kamara.
Yeah,
after what he did,
who's one of the top 5 offensive weapons.
But wouldn't you agree though? Still, Rodgers' best chance to get back to the Super Bowl is still in that division and stay put with the Packers.
Yeah, it is. It is because, although I do think that the South is not going to be as good with because New Orleans slipping a little bit. I think he could go to Tampa.
I think Tampa has a better roster than Green Bay, but
I think Tampa would have been back, but unlike last year, they had injuries at safety, didn't have their safeties. Chris Goodwin, good receiver, was out. I just think bad luck really hurt Tampa
I think his next best chance, if he wanted to leave Green Bay, would be San Francisco. I just don't think
very good roster.
Very good roster.
Very good roster. The defense is always going to be there.
Yeah. You got an excellent coach. And Kyle Shanahan.
What's your gut feeling on where he's at next year?
I'd love to see him in San Fran. I really would. That's my team on the West Coast anyway.
I have a feeling he won't even play.
Oh.
He's going to be a starting quarterback on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I think he's in Green Bay. I don't know why. I think he's in Green Bay.
Are we going to have to put up with this all? I mean, just like we did last summer, the whole thing, the speculation, the talking heads. God, got sick of that.
I think Butch is going back to Pat Benatar here. I don't care if it was Pop or Rock. She looked damn good doing it.
She did.
So,
Looked good doing it.
So I totally understand.
I'm going
where
for
it's
Annie
coming
Lennox and Eurythmics. Just kidding.
from. Not on the look side.
No.
But
Not on the looks.
yeah, great artist, great
Benatar,
musician.
Benatar
I like Annie Lennox.
has it hands down.
Lennox, yeah. Very good for
Not
us.
Debbie Harry.
Female.
Well,
Bruce.
Debbie Harry, yeah, she
Deborah.
was,
Deborah.
in her day.
Yep. We're going to get our picks out here in a little bit. Of course, I was just thinking about how all the celebration of the Super Bowl and all this kind of stuff. A lot of people, I don't know what the reason is behind this, why they even do it. There were students at a university. They got this petition up. I think it was at a university somewhere, and they were trying to get all these signatures on this petition to move the Super Bowl to Saturday, and move it to Saturday permanently.
Right.
Would you want it on Saturday? It's a little different for Mike now. He's retired, so he has nowhere to go on Monday morning.
I don't care anymore.
Don't even care how late they started, right?
You working still.
But it's always been called Super Bowl
Yeah,
Sunday.
to me it doesn't
That's
really
true.
matter, but I don't see any reason to change it.
No, not really. It starts at 6:30. That's not bad.
No, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they did start at 3 o'clock. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all if they started at 3
Right.
o'clock.
Or just 5:30.
But,
There'd be one less hour of hype at the network.
yep. No, not necessarily. They could just start
Start
at
at
9
12.
Yeah,
a.m.
start earlier.
Yeah.
Start at 9 a.m. if they want to. So there'll be pregame shows on as early as
Oh yeah.
8 or 9 a.m.
Oh yeah.
For the Super Bowl. But, yeah, it's I promise you this. If they switched it to Saturday, there'd be just as many people complaining. Why are we playing the Super Bowl on Saturday? It's always been a Sunday.
Sunday is the
event.
NFL,
Yeah.
always.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you said earlier, Mike, it's still not as bad as the NCAA championship game.
I'm much more in favor.
Well, I
of
would like to
changing-
see the college football
Yeah, it's the
championship
same thing.
go
Monday-
to a Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's on a Monday night at 8 o'clock, which is a
It-
4-hour contest.
It'll end at midnight or later.
Yeah.
What I think it should do for the Final Four, semifinals Friday night, championship Saturday night. 1 day rest. No days rest.
Oh, you're talking about, basketball. I thought there for a minute you're talking about the football.
Basketball.
And I'm like, oh, my goodness, going to put a hurting on them here. But
Well, I like having the day between in that because it gives you a chance to game plan a little bit.
True.
Yeah,
just
you
don't
gotta-
like
I don't
it-
think you should have to play a national championship without.
Let's just start it at
time
8
to game
o'clock.
plan.
Well, and the whole tournament is set up with
It is.
play a game, day off, play a game, then get a few days rest, play a game, day
Let's
off,
tip
play a
off
game.
at 8 p.m. on Monday night, not
Now
9:15.
that wouldn't bother me at all. But guess what? Those folks on the West Coast getting off work at 5 o'clock, which is 8 o'clock here, they'd
That's
be,
true.
Of
That's why.
course, they're never in it, so what does it matter, right?
They were last year.
They were in it last year, but hardly ever. It was a long time coming.
Don't
I
count
guess
them out being
Gonzaga.
in it this year.
Yeah, they actually they could say it to us. They controlled it last year, right?
It's all about TV markets, of course, and I guess that's why I started at 9, at least 6 o'clock on the West Coast. Yeah. Okay.
Which would mean more to you, moving the Super Bowl to Saturday? Which would be more easy and more logical, move the Super Bowl to Saturday, or make the Monday after a national holiday? And I don't know what kind of national holiday you could make it, but
Well, it's Valentine's Day this year.
Yeah, it is. Sure is.
Butch says can't start at 3. The Super Bowl golf tourney at Glen Oaks won't be over. 37 years running, rain, snow, or cold. So, okay, can't start at 3. He also says, I'm impartial on the game. Both teams have a good guy who deserves to win. Stafford for L.A. and Mixon for Cincinnati. Now, he's got favorites here. Don't forget that. He's got favorites, especially with Mixon. As long as both teams' final score has a 2 in the last digit,
Ah.
I will be happy. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. and I know where he's
That'll
coming
be tough.
from there. Yeah, it is. It won't be as tough as mine though. I don't know. You guys want to talk about it?
What's the number you want the least on that pool? A 9? I always thought 9 was the worst.
And I have 2 of them.
Do you?
It is the worst.
29-19.
I just want to see a lot of field
Very
goals.
hard.
Nothing else tomorrow. A lot of field
Well,
goals.
Cincinnati has been kicking a lot of field goals in the
I will
playoffs,
say this,
and they've been making
he's
every
good,
one
too.
of them.
I will. Yeah, you know what's going to happen though? I'm going to be sitting there on the verge of winning. He misses it. I get this field goal. I got it. I win the final score. And nope, he missed the first one of the playoffs because he hadn't missed, has he?
I don't think so.
Missed in the playoffs, which I don't know if that's good or bad at this point. You know,
Has he missed all
of
season?
Averages. Oh, no, that I'm sure he has.
Yeah, surely he's missed one.
I think we would have heard more.
Yeah.
And there'd be so much pressure on him. I think I'd miss one on purpose if I had not missed one all year long. Rams 5-point favorite. Have you seen their line lately?
3.5.
3.5 down to 3.5. What's the Bengals have to do to win besides outscore them?
Protect Burrow to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Run the football, and don't give up the deep ball too much. I know they got Beckham out there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say make a play or two on defense.
Yeah.
You know, maybe score a defensive touchdown.
Remember, Stafford leads the league in turnovers. I heard that on the way up here on ESPN.
If you are a Bengal today, are you more concerned about the Rams defense or are you more concerned about the Rams offense?
I think they're D.
They're D.
With that pass rush, with Aaron Darnold in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think they really just lit it up
Jalen Ramsey
offensively or
They did.
anything. Of course, I mean, San Francisco I think is a little better on defense than Cincinnati, although Cincinnati's good. So I think San Francisco slowed them down a little bit. But if you're the Rams, are you more concerned with the Cincinnati defense or offense?
I think offense. With
Yeah, I do
Burrow.
too.
He can do it with his legs,
Yeah.
his accuracy.
Yeah, he
His
does not
arm.
play like a guy this young in his career.
No.
I mean, he's so far he's made plays. You know what I mean?
They're starting to compare him to Broadway Joe, the way he dresses, Joe Cool. I mean, he's some of the things.
Brett, what was your stat about Joe's?
Yeah,
7 Super Bowls won by quarterbacks named Joe.
that's the
7 quarterback.
Well, there
Can
you
you
go.
name them, Mike? Can you name the Joes?
And it's only 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But they've won
Joe
7.
Namath, Joe Montana.
That's 5 of them. 5 Super Bowls.
Boy, now I'm starting to freeze up.
Yeah, those are the easy 2.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, I've already forgot one. No, I got them. I got them both now. I got them both on. Yep. And Brett gave a good hint to me the other day. He said one of them had even lost one, he thinks. And I think, yeah, he did, no doubt.
Yeah, he did.
lose one. Yeah.
One of them was 1-1.
Yeah, one of the Joes
Well, I
was
know
1
it
and
wasn't
1.
Joe Cap.
No, it wasn't Joe.
Of the Vikings. Let me
No.
see.
No.
Oh boy, the random access memory files are getting a little harder to pull in. Let me see. Oh God.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, but the other part of that was the other half of that was Toms have also won 7 Super Bowls. Can you
Yeah.
name all the Toms that have won?
Yeah, that's pretty easy, Brady.
You're done.
Yep.
So the name Tom has won 7. The name Joe has won 7.
Joe is killing me right now.
But Evan McPherson, the Bengals kicker, he was 28 for 33
Yeah, that's pretty good.
on the season.
On the season.
But in the playoffs, he's 12 for 12.
That's
He made 4 field goals in
Ooh.
each game.
If it comes down to field goals, since he may have a little edge there.
We're going to give Mike a little time. We're going to take a break here.
And I'll have it before, and I won't cheat.
Mike's going to think about
I will
those
not cheat.
Joes. You got to have the Joes, right?
Joes.
Got to have the Joes.
Cup
Not the
of
X's and
Joe.
You got to
Cup
have
of-
the Joes, the
cup
Jims
of-
and the Joes to win those.
cup of
Or actually, the
Joe.
Toms and the Joes.
You don't want the Jims.
No.
Oh, I bet not. I bet not. We might get to those too. We'll take a timeout. Back with more sports talk in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with department staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Delaware Blue.
Searching for something to say.
All right, we've got these guys guessing the Joes in here. the Joes that have won 7 Super Bowls. And I cannot believe I didn't get any text from anybody on this one.
Yeah.
The Joes that have won 7 Super Bowls. Joe Montana has won 4.
Right.
Mike also got Joe Theismann, Redskins.
Right.
That makes it 5.
Yeah.
He also got Joe Namath,
Joe
Broadway
Willie Namath.
Joe, making it 6. And I'm trying to get him to play that last one.
Yeah, I know.
To say
he
that
was
last
the
one.
quarterback for the Delaware Blue Hens.
Delaware Blue Hens.
And also the Baltimore Ravens.
Lost to the Appalachian State
For
Mountaineers
the
in the national championship. That I'll give it to you guys.
Come on, somebody, anybody.
He played with Ray Lewis in Baltimore, wearing the purple and winning a Super Bowl. Wow.
This is horrible.
Wow.
I can't even think of his name.
Joe Flacco.
Flacco. Oh.
Joe Flacco.
That hurt.
Super Bowl
It was.
champion with the Ravens. Let's see. Lenny says the NCAA basketball Final Four used to be a Thursday-Saturday format when NBC owned the broadcast rights. I remember Kurt Gowdy being the lead broadcaster. That has all changed when CBS won the rights. And Lenny at the bottom of his message says, Joe Flacco. I thought that NBC did some Monday night ones, though, as well, and it was Dick Enberg. Check into that, Lenny. I think before I think before it was NBC lost the rights, I think they started doing Saturday and Mondays as well. So I don't know. I'm not sure, totally sure about that. But I think Dick Enberg, did he not do some of those, Mike, on NBC in national championship games? And I was pretty sure they were on Monday. I may be wrong because I was very much a youngster.
No question.
At that
Yeah,
time.
Dick Enberg, Billy Packer.
No, Billy Packer didn't work with Dick Enberg, did he? I've never seen Packer on anything but CBS.
I think you're wrong. I think
Okay, I may be.
it was Dick Enberg, Billy Packer.
I mean,
at
I'm just
one time,
asking.
and Al McGuire.
Al
All
McGuire,
three
definitely.
at the same
Okay,
time.
and Packer was with him.
Packer
Yeah,
was
I
with
think
him.
I think I do remember that.
And
yeah.
before he did go to the
God, I wonder
CBS.
what age Billy Packer was when all that was going on. I mean,
Yeah.
because he seemed. You know how some people seem old the first time you ever see them, and then they're really just about 40. So
Yeah, Billy was that
he
way.
might have been that way. He might be one of those.
Well, I
that,
mean, Mark Packer is kind of that way.
Yeah. Well, they're totally different
They are.
personalities, though,
They
aren't
are. They're totally different.
Yeah. That goes way back, but I always loved Dick Enberg as a broadcaster. He was just always one of my favorites. But of course, the perfect life. I wouldn't say the perfect life. That's not a way to label it. But one of the life to have right now would be the life of Jim Nantz.
I've always said he's the most blessed broadcaster in the business right now.
Yep. The only thing he don't have that Joe Buck has, Joe Buck's gets to do the baseball, the World Series and things like that. But Nance gets, the Masters, the Final Four, then the Masters, Super Bowl. He might have the Super Bowl when it's their year. He'll have the Super Bowl right into the Masters, or the Final Four right into the Masters.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
like
month of April was golden for
yeah.
him.
From the Super Bowl on, really, because starting in February, he's got those three of the most watched events.
And if you're a golf person, he probably also does a few of the other majors.
Oh, he does. Well, he does them. Everything that CBS covers in golf, pretty much until. But of course, the Masters being probably the most watched, has to be.
Yes,
the most
of
watched
course.
tournament.
That's when your average person who is not a golfer watches.
Yeah, and we've asked this before. Would you rather win the Masters or the U.S. Open or the British Open?
Masters.
Would you rather have the green jacket?
I don't know. Something about it. Augusta National, the green jacket, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The azaleas.
The azaleas.
Yeah.
And Brett, tell you the $1.50 pimento cheese sandwich that they have.
Is that toasted or just on regular bread?
Just regular bread.
Oh, cheapskates.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Yeah, don't get your money's worth. $1.50, right? Last time, didn't you tell me that?
I'm not sure, but
$1.50.
yeah, everything's reasonably priced.
I do like that they've maintained, a tradition like no other.
A tradition like no other. Lenny says because the Marquette UNC finals was on a Monday night, and I think it was on NBC. I'm pretty sure that one was on NBC because I can still see the plaid sports coats in that game.
Particularly by McGuire.
Yeah. Now, what was that? 77.
77
when they lost to Marquette in the.
When they went to the four corners with an 11-point lead.
Yeah. And then Duke lost in 78 to Kentucky.
42 points by Jack Givens.
The Goose.
The Goose.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, like we've talked before, you can remember the ones that are further back.
And
better than the most
Gene
recent.
Banks, who's currently affiliated with Gaston College, was a freshman on that team.
A freshman on the team that
78
lost to Kentucky.
runner-up.
Who were Kentucky's two big guys that?
Oh yeah, Rick.
Other than they had Roden.
Rick Roden.
Oh my
one.
goodness.
Yeah.
Pull that one out.
That's a good one. And another guy. Yeah, they had two big guys inside.
They did. And
remember Joe B. Hall was the coach, and he just died recently.
Yes, he did. For some reason some of those games stand out. And for whatever reason, it seems like I can remember some of the losses, of the local teams. The Carolina losses, the Duke losses, the State. Did State ever lose? I don't guess they have ever. Yeah, they lost in the Final Four. State to UCLA back in the day. They lost.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. Didn't they lose the year before they won it?
They were on probation that year.
Oh, okay.
Although they only lost one game.
Yeah, okay.
Or they were undefeated the year before.
Yeah, that's
related
right.
to the recruiting of David Thompson.
Yep.
It turned out to be worth it.
Another national championship stands out to me that I remember watching, remember where I was and all this, and I don't know why, was Indiana and Syracuse.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And
Key Smart.
Yeah.
Baseline jumper.
Yep.
Yep.
Watched that one in Caldwell County.
All right, Caldwell.
Maybe I shouldn't say any more, right? I watched that game.
Why in the world were you in Caldwell County?
I was on High Brighton
in
Mountain.
early April.
High Brighton Mountain, where I watched that game. Yeah, it was a work thing. A lot of people from my work watched it at a guy's house.
Right.
Mike Phillips and Rick Roby. I said Roden. It was Roby.
Roby, that's right.
Roden was a pitcher, I think.
Yeah.
Rick Roden was a pitcher for somebody in the majors.
Rick Roby.
Mike
right.
Phillips and Rick Roby were those big men, and that's coming from Lenny. Yeah. I can always count
I don't
him
know who the guards were. Givens was more of a swing man, a three guard, or maybe he was a shooting guard.
Well, the guards I remember always get at Kentucky. I think this one came later on. I may be wrong. Kyle Macy.
Yeah, Kyle
when did
Macy
play? Wasn't he later than Givens?
That's a good question.
And for some reason I can remember, like Duke's losses. Duke losing to Louisville. I can still sit there and see that one and how it ended.
Nervous, Purvis, Ellison,
and like I said, the Carolina loss to Marquette, and but. And of course, NC State's win, that always stands out to you too when you're thinking about what Super Bowl stands out to you the most. When I say Super Bowl, which game do you remember? Is it the most recent, or is it a classic, or is it the first one you ever watched, or which Super Bowl stands out to you as being not necessarily the best, but maybe just what you remember the most?
I think Bill Parcells with the Giants, wide right for the Bills, Heartbreak City. That stands out.
Yeah, and it was the first Super Bowl for both teams, right?
Yep.
First one, either one of them.
And I'll tell you, speaking of Cincinnati, Joe Montana's comeback.
He just did them in twice.
Yeah.
He did them in twice. I mean, one time it seemed like it was Jerry Rice that was the main guy. One time it was John Taylor that was the main receiver. That was just But Cincinnati was in both of those games and could easily won.
Yeah.
Easily won. It was just the San Francisco dynasty, which for some reason you know, we look at New England and all they've done over the last 10 to 15 years and how dominant they were. San Francisco was the exact same thing.
Very dominant.
Just, you know, just 10 to 15 years earlier.
You
know, they were the team that every year it's like, oh, are they going to be there? Are they going to win it again? You know, you got bored with it and that kind of thing.
You know, I'm kind of hoping the Bengals win just for the sake of Boomer Esiason because, you know, he had to be frustrated by, you know, when he was QB at Cincy, not able to get that big one.
Lenny says Kyle Macy was on that team
Was
because he said Truman Clayton and Kyle Macy were the guards.
Okay.
Givens was the swing man.
Oh, what a team.
Yeah, so,
Wow,
yeah.
good team.
I remember Macy because the one thing I remember about Kyle Macy was I think he shot 99% from the free throw line.
And Duke was so good that year. They had Jim Spinarkle at the point.
Jaminski,
Banks.
Banks,
And the G-man inside.
Denard.
Kenny Denard. Good team.
Yeah,
Really
trying to
good
remember
team.
who else is
Yeah.
household name. What Super Bowl do you remember the best, Brett, or stands out to you the most? You know, you're going to have a smaller selection than Mike and myself.
Yeah.
Mike can probably remember every single one of them. The first one I remember actually going on was the Colts and Cowboys that I actually watched, and the Colts won on the last second field goal.
Last second field goal in an ugly game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first ones I remember was Washington beating Denver.
35-point second quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were down 10-0, scored
Yep.
35 and in the
Pretty much
second
over.
quarter. And yeah.
Poor old Denver. They you know, if
then-
Elway would
I
have half a
remember
defense,
ones
he would
like
probably
when-
have 7 like Brady.
When Elway won his first one,
Yeah. that
and
was-
when Brett Favre won his, moments like that.
Yeah.
One I remember pretty well is when Drew Brees and the Saints beat Peyton Manning and the Colts, and a pretty big upset at the time.
Was that the year after Katrina?
Yeah.
So I thought.
Sure
That
was.
was so big for
Think
New
so.
Yeah.
Orleans.
Yeah.
Such a big lift for
Yep.
the city.
Yep, they opened up on a Monday night with Atlanta in there, and they
Yeah.
blocked a
That's right.
punt or something that helped them win the game, and then it was just like that was just their year. It's like
But when y'all were talking about
the
national
script was written.
championships earlier, basketball, the first one of those I can remember is when Duke lost to UNLV by 30 something.
Yeah.
It was
1990.
They lost. Yeah, they
Right.
lost by an even 30, and then beat them the next year.
Yeah.
Was it Leitner's freshman year or sophomore year? I can't remember.
That was a sophomore year.
Yeah,
Sophomore
because
year,
he
yeah.
won the next 2 years. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Still
they
the-
got run out of the gym. They got destroyed that night by Larry Johnson.
Yep. And then bounced back and beat them the next year, even though UNLV's average age was like
28.
20. Well, it wasn't that high, but it was like 24 or
Yeah.
25
Yeah.
to like 18, 19.
That might
And they hadn't lost a game, had they?
No, they
I
were
mean,
undefeated, I think.
Yeah.
in some ways, that might have been Krzyzewski's best win in his 42 years.
Yeah, but you had to, you know, I think Duke people still worried big time about Monday night because you still had to win on Monday night,
Still
even
had
though
to beat
Kansas was
Kansas.
not near as good a team as
No.
UNLV, but
No.
still easy. Still, they can beat you
Yeah.
on any
Duke
night.
beat them by 20, I think it won.
It was close to it if
Yeah.
it wasn't 20.
Yeah.
They did, but
Was that the game in which Grant Hill catches the ball above the rim, slams it? One of them.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
it?
it was.
those were
And that's when
those are memorable
Coach K
ones.
finally got over the hump
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's
because he had been to several Final Fours and
Yeah,
not one.
that's right.
We only got about
And
5
that's,
minutes.
That's what I'm waiting on Mark Few to do at Gonzaga.
He will
And I
get
think if
over
he
it.
gets over the hump, he's going to
And
win,
win some more.
multiple.
Yeah, that'll even help his recruiting too.
I
He
think-
recruits well now.
I
But
will
that'll
say,
that'll
I
add
think
to
Few
it.
will get there. I think he'll get over the. It may be this year, but I think at some point, he's not. You know, he's still.
Well, I hope he
spring.
does
I do
because
too.
he deserves it. I
One of the
mean,
good guys.
Yeah, and he's built a program from a school that you really didn't know a lot about
You know,
till
just a
he arrived.
Catholic
you know?
school, and
All I knew about him
Seattle.
was John Stockton
Yeah.
for many years. That's all I knew. But like I said, we only got about 5 minutes left. What's the biggest play in Super Bowl history? Aha.
Man.
I think, and this is recent, but
What
the
stands out to you?
Patriots' interception at the goal line
That
against
one was
Seattle.
mentioned. Yes. So what was the guy's name that made that pick?
Was that Malcolm Butler?
Malcolm Butler. Yep. With
who a few years later got benched in a Super Bowl.
with Marshawn Lynch watching in shock.
Yeah.
As
Think
as
how
they picked
that
it off.
it would have changed.
Seattle would have won 2 in a row.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause they won
Pete
the year
Carroll's
before.
legacy's established anyway. But had he not made that bonehead call, and I don't know. But
And I've always heard he made the bonehead call. But then I heard this week that the offensive coordinator
made it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he made a bonehead
Yeah,
call.
but Pete's still ultimately responsible. He's the head coach, so it always goes back to him. The James Harrison return stands out to me. And in that exact same game, the throw from Roethlisberger to
Santonio Holmes.
in the back corner, that was the play that won.
Well, there's
and that
also
was
the
keeping those toes
Eli
in
Manning
bounds.
to
He had
David
2.
Tyree.
Oh yeah, the
David
helmet
Tyree
catch.
Yeah.
on the helmet catch,
For
and
me,
the
it's
one
the
to
helmet
Mario
catch.
Manningham. Every time we name one, Mike says that's it.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be the helmet catch because that was the year that the Patriots were undefeated.
We're undefeated, yeah.
And to also see Manning break free when he should have been,
Yeah.
Should have
sacked,
been sacked.
and he wasn't a scrambler anyway,
No.
but he broke free just long enough to sling that ball downfield.
For me, that's the biggest play. In
we got to get
Super
our
Bowl
we got to get our picks
history.
in.
We got to get our picks in.
Well, that's going to be easy. Go ahead, Brett. You're eager. You go,
Yes.
Brett.
Well, no, we only got 3 minutes
I
here.
know.
Lanny said we got to. It's going to cut us off whether we're ready or not.
Hey.
So
Yeah, we got to go.
Give me your pick then.
I'll take the Rams. 27-24.
Rams 27-24. Wow.
I'm going to go Rams 2017. I think it's going to be close. I think Stafford finally gets his just due. I think the defensive front, the pass rush of L.A. will
You taking the Rams, and what's your score?
2017.
You writing these down, Brett? We want to check. Laney, you picked Super
No, I
Bowl?
remember.
I'm going to take Rams 24, Cincinnati 22.
24-22.
Ending on a 2. Okay.
Well, whatever I pick, whichever team I sit here and pick, I'm going to pick it to be 19-9.
That's what you want, right?
And Brett understands why.
I understand.
I'm going to go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with the man that come in my room this week and told me the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl, and this is why. And I'm even going to go with his score. The Bengals are going to win 34-21. 13-point win for the Bengals in this Super Bowl. Maybe it's their time. That's the Bob Cowie.
Hey.
That's the Bob Cowie pick of the week, and I'm going to stick with him. Lenny says, I remember. Let's see if Lenny, if it cuts off, it's somebody's fault other than mine. I remember the 71 or 72 Final Four starting on Thursday. UNC lost to Florida State, and the Seminoles and UCLA played Saturday afternoon in the finals. In those days, they had a consolation final.
That's right.
And UNC played Louisville. I remember those consolation games, and I remember Syracuse playing in one like it had to be in the late 70s, early 80s. But those were the most stupid things you could ever do.
Yeah.
If you weren't in the national championship,
who wants
you
to play
sure
in
didn't
that?
want to play another game.
Oh,
You sure didn't want to play another game.
So glad they got rid of that.
Yeah, whenever you had.
Do they still do that for the NIT? They don't do that for the NIT
I don't
anymore,
think
do they?
consolation games are.
No.
And
No.
I'll put it this way: in high school tournaments are okay because you get your 3 games in when you go play in a holiday tournament.
That's right.
Or if you travel somewhere. But other than that,
It's okay in a high school tournament.
Rodney says he remembers the Raiders Super Bowl memories. Raiders, Kenny King, 80-yard touchdown catch against the Eagles. Marcus Allen in the blowout of the Redskins and that long run, which is still shown many, many times. And I remember Kenny King going down the sideline against the Eagles. And
By
Cliff
the
Branch
way,
as well. Cliff Branch catching one
You
of
know
those
where
touchdowns.
Kenny King played for?
Oh.
Played college ball. Oklahoma, where the wind goes crashing down the plain.
And the national championships are never won.
Yeah. Not since Barry Switzer, anyway.
It's been a while. And now, Stoops ever won one?
Yeah, he won one.
One,
He won
2000.
one. Yeah.
That's right.
For Mike, Brett, I'm David. It's breakfast time. Thanks for tuning in.